You about to start then?
All right, we're broadcasting, and I will present. Let's see. We'll go to Photoshop. Can you see that?
Uh-huh. Well, I can see nothing in Photoshop.
Oh, when it comes up, these should be, well, these are my 4 sketches. Like they said bisect a sheet of paper 2 ways so you can come up with 4 areas to sketch. And basically all I've done is I've just blocked out areas for photo. There's some block areas for titles. I think the title for the flyer or the event that the flyer is supposed to communicate is Graduate Leadership Conference. It's got a body of text, which I've shown in all 4. There's area for a logo, but I'm just representing areas with blocks right now. And to me, it's fairly simple and straightforward. I do like to rotate a few things, but not too much. I'm trying to keep in mind negative space and leaving plenty of room for things to breathe. But I won't really know, final decisions about placement of things until I actually get, an actual photo and an actual logo in these areas with the text. And then I'll start to make decisions about, well, is this working, or do I need to, take another approach? Any thoughts or comments on it?
Hey, boy, this is Dustin. Are you only showing a blank Photoshop screen? We're only seeing just a blank palette. We're not seeing anything.
Let me come back. Let me present again. Maybe that wasn't the right selection to present.
Unless you have multiple Photoshop windows open and it's grabbed the wrong one.
Well, on my selections to present, there's a Photoshop window, and then there's an actual window for the document. So let me try the document and share that.
Okay, so there's a looks like a blank COMM130 JPEG.
Yeah. Is it white or is it black?
White.
There. I'm zooming in. There should be. I've got sketch information on white. Not sure if the resolution's coming across, so that may be our problem.
Might have to re-share your screen. We're seeing your pretty face, but we're not seeing the document.
Okay. All right, let's go back. Anything shady?
I see scritches on the paper.
Is it legible?
Yes.
Okay.
Lindsay, do you see it okay?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Okay, we're with you now, Boyd.
All right. Do I need to repeat anything I said before, or I just basically blocked areas out, on the flyer. There's a block for a photo, there's a block for title. There's one of them on the upper left where I've broken up the title. Up here is Graduate Leadership, and then Conference across the top. and then a little graphic bar on top of conference. The text body is here. Here, let me go to.
So, question for you. I feel like I'm interrupting.
Uh-huh.
Do you want? So we should probably pick one of us to go through that checklist. Then is that what I'm understanding?
I don't know if you're supposed to do all four or just one. For this dry run, I'm okay with either.
Lindsay, any insights there?
What? Well, I think just one, because she had commented, I think it was back on the Facebook page Sister Kuntz had, and said, let me see if I can find it real quick. She said, just a point of clarification, the critiques are due on Thursday, and you're critiquing each other's digital draft.
Oh,
So we pick one of these sketches and do a digital version?
That was my understanding.
gotcha. Okay. Okay, that makes sense.
Well, my favorite is the lower right.
The which one, the lower right?
Yeah, that's my favorite layout. I like it just because the title's not on the top, and I think that's different enough to. But there are probably risks with that, and with size and hierarchy. People expect to see headers at the top of things, so that may not work.
I think so long as you make the actual title that's underneath the picture, I mean, strong enough, like enough emphasis to it, I think that you could make it work. And you're right, it is different. So it would be.
Okay.
I don't know. I think it's worth a shot to at least mock it up and see what happens.
All right. You guys want to go list?
Sorry, we lost you there.
Do you want to go through the checklist and do the actual critique the way that she's saying to do it, or?
We can do a little practice session. Sounds like we'll have to mock. Sounds like I got a long ways to go before Thursday.
Well, here, let me show you. Let me show mine.
Okay.
It's fine. You can count this as a real critique, but I did one just earlier today. If I
All
can
right. Let me stop sharing.
If I can figure out how to share my screen. That's not it.
Is it giving you options? There we go.
Yeah, it's getting there.
Oh, you're showing me. Let's look at Boyd.
Sorry, how is
Okay.
it? I don't know what I'm doing. Is it showing up?
We're seeing what you're seeing, which is us.
Oh, I'm looking at my thing.
Right.
Well,
So if you go back to that green screen, the little with the arrow, where you screen share, there you go. See, we can see what you're doing. Well, now we can't.
Well, I was looking at this the whole time. You can see it now?
No, we can see you. So,
because I'm looking at my project.
right. So when you hit that screen, it gives you a list of options.
Right.
And it shows you a little picture of each one, and it'll show you probably your application or one of the windows that you have that open. And so that's the one to look for. Is it in Photoshop or just a scan?
It's in InDesign, but
Okay.
see that I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah, but we're only you're seeing it, but we're only seeing you.
So how am I? What am I doing wrong?
Let's see if I can show you.
There. Now is it?
There it is.
It's showing up.
Whoa, yeah, there we go. Perfect.
Okay, I'm not going to touch anything. Man. Anyway.
Okay,
That's just
so
what mine ended up. So you don't even really have to critique it.
so you've already actually created it in design.
Right.
Gotcha.
Well, should we go through the critique on it then?
If you have critiques, you can tell me. I don't think I'll count this as a real.
Okay, we'll just, you're
Okay.
saying this is our practice session.
Oh, yeah.
Well, this is all recorded, and I don't know how long we are now. I think Boyd, you probably have the counter at the bottom on how much we're into it. Probably 15 minutes now.
Yeah, Louise.
Oh, I don't have a counter. Where would I find it?
Oh, I thought it on the where you hit the record. I thought it had a counter to tell you how much time. It might not.
Oh, well.
Anyway. Okay. Well, then going down the checklist, then make observations 30 seconds. So.
I can see 2 fonts. I think that's good.
Leadership really stands out to me. I mean, you've got that in very large, bold.
No, I think it's a draft. I mean, that's my first reaction to it. It looks nice. Things are aligned.
All right, and I'm not a great designer, but the graduate and the conference, I'm not sure what it is about the box around the leadership, but it feels like I'm not sure if it needs to be more space, just a little bit of a gutter, whatever you want to call it, around that, or if it should bleed onto it. I'm not sure what it is, but leadership just seems like it's so much on its own. The graduate and conference are kind of kicked to the outside.
Okay. That's right. You guys can be harsh because I don't love this at all. But I tried a bunch of different things, and I got to the point that I was like, I just want to have something done for all these hours that I've been sitting here. So, like I said, not in love with it. So.
Go
ahead, Boyd.
Just comment about that. I think, to me, the only thing that bothers me about that is graduate kind of sits right on top of that gray line.
Yeah.
And the ascender on the F in conference just kind of goes up and touches it. So I would trim probably the gray box a little bit so those letters breathe a little bit more, and you don't have what we call tangencies, which are where round shapes kind of intersect right at their end point, and they create problems in general composition. And so whenever at work we work with composition, we kind of avoid the tangencies, and then that's when things sit right on top of other things and they create these little points.
Sure. So does that look better?
Yes.
With the space? I mean, I'll still make the gray box smaller, but to put
that's
some
much better. And just take conference and move conference down a little bit, and I think you're fine.
Yeah. Boyd was much more eloquent in his description.
Yeah, he must know some things. Anyway, I'll mess
With
around.
an ascender like that is tougher to space. It's much easier to space on a baseline, but it's doable, and I think it will look fine if you pull that down to just a tad.
Working on it. Anyway, I can mess with it later.
And you could justify it to the right and align that with the right side of that box.
Yeah, that's what I'll try to do.
There's another couple of alignment things. You're going back and forth between center justification and a right side alignment. I think center justification works, but rarely. I think it's working okay, but what I do with your text at the bottom left is I would lower it so that the baseline aligns with that bottom of that photo.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
But a lot of folks will hone in on center justify and they like it, but I think here it works fine because it sits in that square space pretty well. I think the logo could probably be a little bigger.
Okay.
If it's a corporate kind of event or flyer, most corporate brands will want their brand to be a little bit larger. So if you can work that in, you could probably crop that photo so it's less tall and a little bit more square, and you could buy some room to expand the size of that logo. And as you do, you'll realign that text that we just had you move to always stay in line with the bottom of that photo.
All right. Good to know. Anything else right off that sticks out?
No, not for me. How about you, Dustin?
I think you had all good points there. I was just kind of looking at that body copy. It's not necessarily alignment, though it's related to it. Is that registration more information available? It's just really weird to me that that it's just you got able at, right? I don't know. It's just the way that.
Well, yeah. So that whole thing of text, I don't know what to do with it because no matter how I align it, there's always like one weird word or something gets cut off or they're all hyphenated. So I've got to do something different with that. But that was.
I don't know if it's good design, but if you've got a problematic line like that, you can also experiment with reducing the point size.
See, and I tried a little bit. I'll have to mess around with it some more because I swear I did everything I could think of, and just there was nothing that, like, if I got one thing right, something else looked terrible. So I just will have to reformat that completely, I think.
Seniors is another one that kind of dangles.
Yeah, but it's
I know
kind of ironic that just underneath that it says space is limited. It's just kind of ironic to me.
Okay. So yeah, I'll have to redo that all of the text right there, the whole body of it.
How does it look if you left justify it? Does it change any of that for you?
It didn't.
Okay.
I didn't think. Now I just have the same issues on the other side.
Yeah, part of it's point size. Part of it's the tracking. How big?
Maybe if you expand the size of your box to the right a little bit. I know it's pushing into the negative space. That may be the solution to your problem.
Expanding this one?
Yeah.
The other thing you might consider, because it's almost like you're the first, I guess call it paragraph, and the last two, they're kind of almost like bullet points, and then you get this big chunk on the second one. I don't know if it makes it any easier, because usually when you get a bunch of text all at once, it's hard to read. I mean, you only get through the first part of it, and then you're done. I don't know if splitting that up somehow, and so it's I don't know if I'm making this up, but it seems like under the repetition and the rhythm that you would have just even boom, 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 boom down the list rather than short, really long, short, short.
No, that makes sense. Okay, so things to think about, figure out.
Yeah, I kind of think if you expand the size of that box, it would help your formatting, and it would also move you out of a symmetric composition and more to an asymmetric, which generally works a little better visually.
Okay.
Yeah, you do have it pretty well split up into two. I mean, you've got the header at the top, but then you've got really a left and a right side, which is pretty close to that middle line. I don't know if are we allowed to crop photos, and we
Yeah.
have
Yes.
to use those. Okay.
You
Yeah,
can
we
crop
should.
those photos any way you want.
Yeah. So that might be something to think about on having the flow and also helping with that. It's a little more asymmetrical.
Sure.
Is maybe focusing on a little piece of that photo instead of the entire thing. Maybe it's their
Okay.
shoes. Maybe you really like their shoes. I don't know.
No, I don't. But is that weird to cut them off like in the middle somewhere?
I don't think so. If you cropped it right, and you just want to get them, they've got the stoic look, like a bust shot where it's from the waist or the chest up or something.
Okay.
There are some general cropping rules about where you'd crop a person in a photo, and I think it's kind of above the knee, just just below where their hands are in their pockets, kind of mid-thigh, is a place where you could crop it. You wouldn't want to go down below the knee where you're just cropping their legs off like they're standing in water or something like that.
Okay.
I'd love to point you to some reference, but I can't think of where I saw it. And you can use one of the other photos too
Right.
if this doesn't work well with a crop.
Fair.
And you can also scale it. If you're going to go to an asymmetric composition, you can scale this down, and that might do it. But you've got plenty of space at the bottom to crop up toward their feet. Just don't touch it.
Right. Okay. I'll mess around with that too then.
So
All right.
Congratulations, you're way ahead of us.
Yeah. We're really not holding to our 2-minute critiquing, but
Yeah.
we'll get better.
I think we've got about 15 minutes at least.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. I obviously need it, but thank you. That was actually more helpful than I expected it to be for a not real critique.
Good. Well then, yeah.
You want to get together Wednesday night or Thursday night to do this again?
Sounds good to me. That evenings are, and really for me, later evenings are the only times that I have to work on stuff. So.
That's actually good for me too. So.
Okay. Temple trip tomorrow and mission prep on Wednesday, and I won't be home to fit.
Where are you at, Dustin?
I'm in Spokane, just 6 hours away from you.
That's right. All right.
Yeah, the sun just went down over there. Holy cow.
Yeah, Boyd, you're in Texas, is that right?
Yeah, I'm near Austin.
That's right. I hear it's nice there.
It is. It's getting warm. Starting to dry out too, which we could use some more. Well, do you guys want to go over anything else, or do we want to just get back together, I guess, this evening? We'll want to do it soon enough to be able to finish and then upload our videos and then, finish posting the links and all that stuff.
Yeah. Let's give it a go for Wednesday night, and that way if it all falls apart, we've still got Thursday night to clean up.
That sounds good. And I can be up real late, so if you guys want to start, what time did we start tonight? Was it midnight? You're 10 o'clock your time, Dustin?
Yeah, so it's 10:40 here. It's 11:40 for Lindsay. And are you in Central Time, Boyd?
Yeah, it's 12:42.
Okay, so we started. It was about 45 minutes ago or so, or an hour ago, right around then.
Yeah, Boyd posted your link on Facebook an hour ago, so it was like 10:45 for me.
Gotcha.
Let's do it at 12, 11, and 10. Straight up.
Everybody synchronize watches. Remember your time.
Works for me.
Yeah.
Okay.
And tonight's Monday, right? Okay.
Yeah, what? Wednesday, okay.
Okay, we'll give it a go.
All right, we'll see you guys then. Thanks.
Thank you.
All
Bye.
right, good luck. Thanks for the tips.